Two shootings in 24 hours, both at the hands of police, both fatal. Last night, police killed a man in Broomfield after some kind of disturbance call. And this morning, police say a man in Centennial tried to attack officers with a pole before they shot and killed him. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Jennifer Meckles. Both men died from those shooting injuries. All of the officers are okay. Tonight, we're taking a closer look at what happened. Friday night, just after 7:30, Broomfield police say they were called out to Flint Way in the neighborhood just west of Broomfield Community Park for some kind of disturbance. 5 minutes after officers arrived, they shot and killed a man. Broomfield has not answered our questions about why, what led up to the shooting, or if the man even had a weapon. No officers got hurt. Then Saturday morning in Centennial, on East Cayley in a neighborhood between Holly and Arapahoe.
At 6:09 a.m., our 911 dispatch center received a report from a resident who observed an individual in a neighboring backyard acting very suspiciously.
The Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office says the man was walking around with a metal pole and turned it on officers when they showed up.
According to the preliminary investigation, the man advanced toward deputies while holding the pole and struck one of our deputies. Our deputies first attempted using less lethal force, including a taser, but those efforts were unsuccessful.
The sheriff's office says 2 deputies shot the man, who died on scene. The deputy hit by the pole had minor injuries but did not need to go to the hospital. Both cases remain under investigation. All right, now let's turn to your forecast. We start with a live look outside from the west side of town. The sun has come out. We had a whole week of storms, and now the sun is shining and very hot. The heat is picking up, and fire danger stays high as we head into the 4th of July weekend. We do have some fires to talk about, Corey, which we'll get to in just a second, but it is all the wrong ingredients today.
Oh, man, it was super hot. You felt the breeze all day long here on the eastern side of the state. On the western slope, it was even stronger. So fire weather conditions were at extreme conditions. That's the highest level that it can possibly be. It was the hottest day of 2026 so far. Here's the shot of Denver right now. A few clouds out there, but it's still pretty hot right now. 96 degrees was the official high temperature at DIA, and it's still 96 degrees. 97 was the high temperature right here at 9 News Studios, and it's still 96 out there. Super hot this afternoon. Fire weather conditions remain in place. The red flag fire weather warnings will go into this evening and then again come back tomorrow. And we're probably going to have these all the way through the week, because when you look at your 7-day forecast, this is Denver's forecast. We could stay in the 90s, right at 90 through the rest of the week. And then we're going to spike again right before next weekend. So lots of heat, lots of wind, lots of dry conditions still remain. So I'll detail not only what comes up with the fire conditions, but also the string of 90s, when that will end. I'll talk about that coming up in the full forecast, Jenny.
All right, thank you, Corey. And with that hot weather, fire danger is up. We've already seen some activity today. In Adams County, they responded to a fire at 120th and Watkins, just north of DIA this afternoon. A lot of people told us they could see the smoke from different places around town. Fire officials tell us it was a car accident that started this one. Burned about 10 acres, but we're told it is out now. No word about whether there were any injuries connected to this. 2 wildfires in Utah are spreading and moving toward Colorado. Moab Valley Fire Department says they're burning on BLM land in Grand County, Utah, right on the border with Colorado, south of the Colorado River. 9 News viewer Anita Bruno sent in some videos from Fruta of that smoke from those fires. The Snyder Mesa fire is about 50 acres, and the Jones Canyon fire is about 20 acres. Blue Mesa Reservoir has now joined the list of places rolling back their boating operations because of low water levels. That reservoir is in Gunnison. It acts as part of the Colorado River Storage Project along the Gunnison River. And as the water lowers, the reservoir says some of the ramps will have to close. The marina will be moved to deeper waters. Today, the Lake Fork boat ramp is closing. The next Sunday, all boats on the Elk Creek marina slips have to move so crews can relocate to deeper waters. All of that happening on 4th of July weekend. Hand launching will still be available. Hikers escaping to the foothills this weekend found cooler temperatures, certainly, but also some problems along the Beaver Brook and the Chavez Trail near Evergreen. Heavy rain from earlier this week left its mark. Hikers say portions of that trail and several footbridges were blocked with tree debris.
Despite the weather last night, the trail conditions weren't too bad. There's a washout 3 miles down if you start at the parking lot, and one of the bridges is washed out to the right. So my friend and I went down 3 miles, came up, which is a nice 6 mile up and back. So we feel satisfied with the day. Yeah, you could absolutely still come out here and hike.
We encountered 3 washed out bridges and had to cross on rocks, and so there were several other hikers that were helping us clear some of the brush away so we could get across and not get our shoes too wet. But it was a surprise, I'll tell you that.
It does make sense, though, if you consider what kind of weather Evergreen saw this week. If you remember, we did a lot of reporting out of Evergreen and Kittredge about the impact of the rainstorms. About this trail, though, we reached out to Denver Parks and Rec and CPW to ask more about trail conditions, and on this Saturday, we've not heard back. In your other headlines, hours after having their bonds lowered, the former Pueblo County coroner and his brother have posted bail, and they're now out of jail. Yesterday, a judge lowered the bonds for Brian and Chris Cotter from $1 million down to $500,000, and they posted bail last night. That pair is accused of stashing bodies in the funeral home they co-own. They were both arrested Thursday, nearly a year after inspectors discovered 24 bodies in a secret room at Davis Mortuary in Pueblo. In an update this week, investigators said they now believe there are at least 125 victims.
I want to reaffirm the importance of conducting the thorough, though lengthy, investigation that took place in this case, and express my gratitude to the victims' families for their patience and strength throughout this difficult waiting period.
The Cotters face charges of abuse of a corpse, forgery, and theft. They're both set to appear in Pueblo County Court Thursday. 3 days to go until Colorado's primary election night. And remember, it is too late at this point to actually mail in your ballot, but that's okay. You just drop it off in person. Pick a drop box. We have more than 400 across this state. Ballots are due 7 p.m. Tuesday, June 30th. Or you can vote in person at one of more than 100 voter centers around the state, as long as you're in line by 7 o'clock on Election Day.